Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on the saying, the worst she can say is no. That's a lie. I'm going to just flat out tell you that right now, because I know there's people out there that haven't dealt with rejection just yet. You know, rejection hasn't reached your path of life. And I could just tell you based off of experience that, yeah, rejection, it ain't good. You know, especially with the two rejections I have to say in my life that's really had because I've been rejected numerous times in my life. Like the two times I always talk on hasn't been the only times I've been rejected. I've been rejected a good portion of my life. Like I could think of moments when I was in elementary I was rejected, middle school I was rejected, high school I was rejected, adult life I was rejected. Probably when I'm like mid-age I'm gonna be getting rejected. Hopefully by then I'm married, got kids and all that stuff. But if not, then yeah, I think it's gonna probably be like that mid-age, elderly, like all the way probably up until my last days on earth. Then that's when I find true love. And I'm like, I really don't want that. You know, that's something where I'm like, I don't want to be like 90 years old. And then that's when I find somebody that got this love for me. I'm like, that's just too far late into my life. Like I'm looking for that now, you know. In 26, you think at 26 you have been unfound that. Like I'm seeing friends of mine where it's like they haven't found that back when they was in high school, or maybe now. But I'm like, man, it's just it sucks, you know. Like I'm gonna just tell you that right now. But getting back to the saying, the worst that she can say is no. No, she can say worse than just no. And I'm gonna be talking on one experience where, yeah, I pretty much heard the worst thing that I could have heard, where it did cause some sort of like anxiety and trauma and stuff, to where like now I kind of just have like this different outlook on life and things, to where now I think like now when I get rejected, like that might be one of the reasons. You know, it's just overthinking and all that stuff. Like you pretty much when you get rejected by somebody that you really got feelings for, you unlock this new like you pretty much. And yeah, you change as a person. Like the two times where I had to say the rejection and got to me bad, like I'll admit, like even this second time around, like yeah, it changed me as a person. I'm like, I feel like I'm not the same guy that I was 3 years ago. I'm like, whoever I was 3 years ago, yeah, he's gone. And I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like it's sad to say that, and it's sad to see it that way, but at the same time I'm like, I don't really like how I felt at one point in time before. Like I know like within me I have changed. Like I've changed as a person. Like that's something that I can feel. That's something that I understand. Hold on for 1 second. I'm about to take a sip of water. Alright, I'm back. But no, it's that. It's just something that like I know that like that feeling, because I've experienced it before. And then talking on the experience where it's like, she said much more worse than no. So, but I was in high school, and there was this girl that I had feelings for. Strong feelings. Like it was like somebody where I'm like, man, I honestly truly do believe that we would have probably, like, if she hadn't rejected me, she definitely would have probably been the one and only relationship I would have been like heavily involved in and stuff. Like there wouldn't have been nobody else in this world that could compete. And I know people will probably ask, like, were the second girl that you had met, do you think that you would have caught feelings for her even if you were in a relationship? No. Like there was nothing that can bring me away from this first girl that I had feelings for. Absolutely nobody. So that's one of those things where I'm like, I strongly believed in that. I still believe, because the thing is this, even though I might have changed as a person, I still know who I am. And I know for a fact that I'm like, yeah, there wouldn't have been nobody in this world that could have came between me and this first girl that I had feelings for. So anyways, I remember, eventually I built up that confidence to ask her out. And I'm like, that's honestly, it's like, it's one of those things where it sucks because, you built this confidence up and then you finally and that's the thing where I'm like, when you get rejected, it's like, you don't really want to go through that. And I'm like, and then and so it's crazy. And I don't encourage people to do this, but it's crazy because I was watching like these like catfish moments on TikTok, and they were talking about how the one girl on there, she wanted to ask out her friend, but she catfished them because she didn't want to ruin things between herself and this guy that she was friends with. It ended up working out, but yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, and I'm not trying to be rude, and I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. But I think if it had been the other way around, I definitely do think that, because I think that with women, because there's a lot more than women to men. Like, I'm gonna just say that right now. I think that's 100% a fact. But I do think that if it had been the other way around, because I just feel like women, they carry more emotions to a situation versus a guy like knows that a woman likes him. Yeah, a guy, and then on top of that, like her being like, such a beautiful woman and things. And then, yeah, that's something where I'm like, nah, bro, it's just, yeah, you're gonna say, yeah, you ain't gonna be all like, no, that's not gonna work out and stuff. Unless you strongly do believe that it's not gonna work out because this girl is like, she had, fought her boyfriend, put him in the hospital, or she ran over his, his brother with a car, and like burnt down like his man cave shed out in his backyard. Yeah, then that's when it's like, okay, yeah, it's definitely not gonna work out. Like, no, girl, you are crazy and you belong in a prison. All right, so I'm not fooling. Well, okay, I probably wouldn't call her crazy to her face, knowing what she's capable of, but yeah, definitely about like, but then that's the thing though, where I'm like, I feel like I'll be scared, like rejected her. So it probably, in a way, it would and would not work out because I'm like, I'm scared. And at the same time, I'm like, I already know what she's about. So I'm like, maybe I just got to play off this act where I'm like, I just got to play as a guy that she don't like and things. But anyways, I'm getting off topic, getting back on topic, talking on the worst she could say is no. But no, so anyways, girl in high school had strong feelings for her, built up that confidence to finally ask her out, and then saw that she was dating somebody. Broke me down. But that wasn't it. That can also be, one of the worst things that she could say other than no and stuff. But that wasn't it. That's not what she had said. It wasn't until some time later when me and her was sitting down and we were talking. Well, we were messaging each other and things. But anyways, I asked her, because she had broke up with the guy and things, and so I think I asked her out, or at least was wondering and stuff. And no, like, and yeah, just overall asking her out. That's when she like broke the news to me that she doesn't see herself dating a black person. And that's something where it's like, it still kind of in a way has an effect on me to this day. Like, cause I feel like if I were to see her, it'll just be like, oh, hey, how you doing and things, I'm doing good, focus on this. It's like, how's life going for you? In the back of my mind, and it's something that it's like with all the thoughts and the ideas and just everything that runs through my mind, I'm still going to see like that one thing that she said to me. And that's something that's going to be like just what I always see from her. And it sucks to say that because I'm like, I do feel like that she is a genuine good person. But at the same time, I'm like, when you say things like that and then think it's not going to have an effect on them, it's like, what did you expect? And so that's, in my opinion, like, I have to say probably one of the worst things that's ever been said to me, and I'm like, and the thing is this, like, a girl can just flat out tell me, like, if I don't know who the girl is, she could just flat out tell me, like, oh, it's not going to work out because you're black, I'm not going to care. But I think when there's feelings behind it, if I have feelings for this girl, then yeah, I'm going to partially, not even partially, fully, like, I feel like, is that a word to use for it? Regardless, I am going to care, especially if I have feelings for the girl and stuff, and that's gonna hurt. And it did. I remember it hurt. I was angry. I was crying. Like, it was one of those things where it's just, you don't expect somebody to say that to you. And what's crazy was that somebody was really trying to use, because no, that to me, that was like full-blown trauma. Like, that was full-blown trauma to my brain, where it's like, I remember after that, I was like, off to myself, Like I didn't really want to associate, and I had to say that's, like probably one of the reasons why I got into content creating, because it was maybe like a year or two beforehand, and so I didn't really know what to do with myself, and I was struggling, and then, graduating high school, it was just so many different things that was running through my mind and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, and it's crazy to think, like, I went through all that, and and got through school and stuff, found a career and things, and so, but yeah, it did, like, that's where it just, like, it more so helped take my mind off of things. And I don't encourage people, it's like, like, but find something that you can get involved in. I mean, if you want to get involved in content creating, you very well can do that. It was therapeutic for myself. But, yeah, it was just, it was one of those things where I was like, that's the reason why, like, 2015, it's just I got into content creating and stuff. But anyways, but no, like, it was very traumatic for me to, go through some stuff like that, because I never expected to go through some stuff like that, especially with somebody that I considered a friend, so it was kind of weird where it's like, you're friends with black people, but you won't date a black person. And so here's the thing. So there was this YouTuber I remember I used to watch a lot some years ago. Her name was Bird Martinez. And I remember there was this is like when I was like heavily going on to like World Star Hip Hop and stuff. So she had a video go viral, and it ended up on World Star Hip Hop. And she was talking about like how Hispanic parents, they look down upon that, with their kids dating outside their race, or at least I guess dating a black person, whatever the situation is. But I'm just gonna say dating outside their race. Now I wanted to talk on that real quick, because I know people ain't going listen to me over their parents and stuff. But if I can motivate you, this one time to actually sit down and listen to me, if somebody comes at you with the most amount of love that you have ever seen in your life, like literally a person that you are talking to every day, a person that will go like beyond this world for you. I remember there was a time where this girl told me that she was about to get into a fight, and I didn't, because what was running through my mind was all like, dang, what if she gets jumped? Like, I was overthinking all the way before overthinking was a thing. And I'm like, do you want me to be there? Because if some stuff goes down, like, I ain't gonna put my hands on no woman, but I definitely will try to, like, protect you, help you out, do what I can without assaulting anybody and stuff. But no, if there are some guys there that's gonna be trying to, like, get some hits in, I'm like, I'm going to go, like, I'm gonna lose it. I probably would have been in juvie or something if I did see a guy hit her and things. Probably have been in prison, I don't know. But anyways, but no, it's one of those things where I'm like, I would have went to the moon and back for this girl. And, to have it where that's running through your mind. It's like, oh, this person, they're so good to me, but it's not going to work out because they're, they're of the opposite, race and things. Don't do that to yourself. Like, if there's any advice that I can give you, do not do that to yourself. Do not turn down a good person over the color of their skin. And what's crazy is that somebody had tried to use that against me and stuff, use my own trauma against me one day. I was on Twitch. And that guy, he was just mad toxic. I was like, nah, eventually I ended up having to ban that guy, because not over that reason, but just of other reasons and stuff. And I was like, there's nobody in this world that will be right on that. Nobody. If you've never dealt with no stuff like that, you cannot speak on it. That's just facts. I refuse to have anybody, because what's crazy is that everybody that I have told this to, before I even use the word racist, I just tell them, oh yeah, it was crazy. I'll never forget. I remember I was talking about it at my job. And it was, so I can't remember how me and the customer, we got on the subject, but another customer had walked in line, and and she had just caught like the ending of the story and stuff. And I was talking, I was like, yeah, the girl, she turned me down because of the color of my skin. That customer she was shocked. Like, me just now remembering that, she was shocked. The face that she had made, all right, when I was telling, not even to her, she just overheard it. So I'm saying, like, if you have it where there's random people that will overhear that, and I could go up to any and everybody in this world, all right, if they're not racist, but if they are racist, then yeah, they are probably going to say, oh, well, no, that's not racist. No, that's normal. Yeah, that's okay to turn somebody down over the color of their skin, as if, like, black people don't have enough to go through already. Yeah, you know, having it where there's somebody that they have strong feelings for, telling them, like, oh, because of the color of your skin, it's never going to work. And so, no, the YouTuber Burr Martinez, she made this video talking on, like, how I guess, like, that's, you know, looked up, down upon, and yeah, you know, Hispanic. Did I say that part? I think I said that. Look, it's 7 in the morning, all right, I'm half asleep. I really don't know what part that I left off on, because I'm on some, like, you know, Inception things when I be doing my podcast episodes, but anyways, but yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, you know, you gotta sit down and think about that, and I guess, like, I would like to ask her one day if our paths ever do cross. I definitely think, like, next time we have a conversation, I would ask her that, and I'm like, cause the thing is this, I do feel like the next time we do have a conversation, she's gonna be the one to start it up. I have no reasons to really sit down and start no conversations with her, and that's not even on some stuff where I'm like, I'm trying to be rude or disrespectful. I just don't really see no conversations with her right now at the time. I don't know, maybe in the future, but for now, I'm like, I really don't see myself talking to her and things, and so I do wish her the best in life. I wish everything is going good. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I think if we ever do cross paths again, I would like to ask her. I'm like, remember when you told me back in high school you wouldn't date me over the color of my skin? I'm like, how would that make you feel, you know, going through some stuff like that? Like, I'm not trying to bring up no old stuff, but I am just curious though, like, how would that make you feel? Because that's like, I guess, like, okay, like, if you're a woman with, like, you know, small boobs and things, and the guy's all like, oh, I'm not gonna date you unless you have big boobs. Or, like, if you don't have plastic surgery or things, and the guy's like, oh, I'm not going to date you unless you have plastic surgery, or unless you have a big butt, or if, you know, whatever the situation is and stuff, oh, you got to be this, you have to have that, you got to do this, you got to do that, like, you have, or yeah, it's like, probably, like, what, the one where it's like, you always hear some stuff, it's literally a Call of Duty insult, but it's like, oh, if you don't, cook me something to eat in the kitchen and things, then yeah, it's like, nah, it ain't gonna work out. How would that make you feel? Because I'm like, that, I feel like that, you know, if the thing, and I know people probably would ask, like, well, what can you say, you know, like, being, and the thing, like, all right, so overall, like, what can you say, like, that's not worse than no? Like, what could be, like, literally the minimum of just no? You know, and the thing is this, you have to be honest. So that even though that girl, she, you know, yeah, she said some racist stuff, she was honest with me. And I'm like, yeah, the worst that she did say, you know, the worst and things, but at least she was honest. At least she wasn't on some stuff where it's like, what does that even mean? Like, I had to, like, it just left me confused for years. Like, yeah, the second time around when I dealt with rejection, it, you know, it hurt a lot. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm like, yeah, I would have rather just, you know, had like an honest, you know, just, you know, whatever, like, just something, rather than just a honest rejection than a confusing rejection and stuff. Because I'm like, yeah, confusing rejections, it's weird, man. But, you know, like, that's somewhere it's like, even though she was saying she was on some racist stuff that day, like, will I consider her, you know what, I really don't know. I'm like, because now thinking about it, I'm like, because, like, it was something that happened back when we were kids, and I'm like, and then seeing her, like, her now and things, I'm like, I think I ain't seen that girl be in like 3 different relationships. I haven't seen her with no black person. So yeah, she might be a full-blown racist and things. I'm like, it ain't got nothing to do with the parents. I'm like, you done got older and stuff. I'm like, you should not be an adult. Because my thing is this, that ever since I was a kid, I have told my, and it's something where I'm like, you know, I have a different outlook on it now. I'm like, I really don't particularly care who I date, you know, but I do remember, because I was like, I ain't even gonna lie, like, I loved me Latino women, like, when I was a kid. And I remember I told, there was this one girl that I had a crush on when I was in elementary. And I remember, yeah, just telling my parents, like, oh, I'm gonna marry me a Mexican girl when I get older and stuff. And that's something where I'm like, you know, if they probably, because my parents, they don't particularly care. And that's why I'm like, because my sister, she done dated outside her race I'm trying to think other family members, like just not like outside my immediate family. They've dated outside their race. So it's one of those things where I'm like, it would just be confusing, seeing my family being racist. And I'm like, look at all these biracial kids in this family. Like, I think I got a few cousins where it's like, yeah, they can say both racist words about white people and black people and things. I'm like, I got so many different family members there, so they're biracial. I'm like, it would just be weird to look at our family and be like, oh, we're racist. Like, nah, I just, maybe in a movie role, if we got hired on to be a racist person in a movie, then yeah, but other than that, like, nah, I highly doubt it. But anyways, what point was I gonna make? You know what? I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and end off this. My advice to anybody out there: don't do podcast episodes 7 in the morning and stuff, especially when you haven't had no energy drink or no breakfast, and you literally just running off of like hope and imagination for this podcast episode. So, anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. I ain't gonna do no promos because I need to get some stuff in my system and things. So anyways, thank you guys and peace.